Most businesses don't stall because of a lack of strategy. They stall because the founder became a bottleneck. In today's podcast, we're going to talk about how to spot it and, more importantly, how to fix it.
Let's go. I don't know what comes in, but I couldn't care less. I refuse to be stressed. There's no fear in my head. Hear the boom from my stairs. Walk away from the pain I've been through. This feeling I'm feeling is brand new. This the moment I break through.
Welcome to 10-Minute Masterclass. I'm your host and lead MC, Trey Sheneman, and it's our goal on 10-Minute Masterclass to be your weekly mic drop for business breakthrough every single week. My whole approach to doing this is to try and teach you some timeless business principles that I've learned over the last 15 or 16 years in the trenches so that you can apply those timeless business principles to today's business problems in your business. That's why I'm doing this. I want you to grow. And so the way that we talk about growth here too is we use a framework we call the core 4 drivers of growth: marketing, sales, operations, and leadership. And in today we're driving down deeper into the growth driver that is operations. And we're talking about bottlenecks. More importantly, founder-led bottlenecks. It's like a kind of a dolphin. Like you got a bottlenose dolphin, you got a bottleneck founder. I'm just kidding. I really think that founder-led bottlenecks are like the silent killer of scale. Because here's the hard truth. You're not going to be able to get to 2 million or 5 million or 10 million if you remain a founder-led business. Don't get me wrong. A lot of the clients we work with are founder-led businesses, but a lot of the clients we work with are sub $2 or $3 million, and they're trying to get to 5 or 10 or $15 million in revenue. And the whole thing we're teaching them how to do is how to productize the founder's thinking so that the founder no longer becomes a lid on the business, okay? It's going to be really hard. There's been very few businesses that have remained founder-led and gotten to 30, 40, 50, 60 million. And the cool thing for me is I've worked for a couple of them, and they are unicorns, okay? So the odds are that's not going to be you. So you need to figure out how to make sure you can scale past yourself being the bottleneck. So when you first start your business, you're the engine. You know, I get it. You're the driver. You got to do it all. The challenge is like if you remain the engine, though, you will eventually stall out. You will choke out. It won't work. So it's not about an effort issue either. It's not that you don't work hard enough or you're not talented enough. It's just more a concept of architecture here, and that certain businesses, most businesses for that fact, actually have to change their model in order to grow through different growth plateaus. It's kind of that old adage of what got you here won't get you there. Not only that, it also might be what's holding you back, meaning like continuing to want to do it that way will keep you here. Not only will it not get you there, it will keep you here. So the big idea for today is there are 4 bottlenecks that I see founders create, and I can speak very candidly about this because I've lived through most of them as a founder. I'm being a founder now for the 3rd time, so this is me talking to me just as much as it is me talking to you. Okay, so let's work through what these 4 bottlenecks are so you can spot them and you can stop them so that your business can grow. So number 1, first bottleneck is the decision bottleneck. The way you know you have a decision bottleneck is if you hear yourself saying or thinking, nothing moves unless I approve it. Every decision routes through you. I mean, that is immediately going to kill the speed inside of your company. The way that you fix this bottleneck is you build what are called decision rights. A good way of thinking about decision rights, if you've never seen a RACI chart before, RACI is RACI. Actually, I'll make sure that the team builds a RACI chart as the deliverable that we serve up for those of you that are on our newsletter at 10minutemc.com. That's 10minmc.com. If you want to go there and get on our newsletter, a RACI chart stands for who's responsible, who's accountable, who's consulted with, and who's informed. And the faster you can move yourself to the I bucket, the informed bucket, instead of the consulted, accountable, or responsible bucket, definitely not that R bucket, the quicker decisions are going to get made. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a process there. Of course, a lot of the decisions have to come through you when it's early on, but man, if you're going to build out a team, then assign ownership, give them responsibility, hold them to it. And that's one of the ways that you're going to be able to grow faster and get past stall. The second bottleneck outside of the decision bottleneck that I see when I consult with businesses is the communication bottleneck. Hey, I'm the bridge. I'm the bridge between everyone. I'm the go-between. everyone talks to you, and then you have to talk to everyone else. So all the emails come to you and you forward them out to your team. All the Slack requests come to you and then you send them out to your team. All the conflict comes to you and you got to be one to solve it. If that sounds familiar, you got a communication bottleneck. And the truth is, it's like, that's not leadership. That's like being a human version of Slack, like being the catch-all of everything that has to happen. And so the way that you fix the communication issue is a little bit of a multitude of things, but you really got to make sure you have strong meeting rhythms. I'm not a huge proponent of meetings, if I'm being honest with you. I think they're one of the most drag-inducing things in a business. But I am a fan of good meetings and really few well-run good meetings. And again, something I'm working on myself. But better meeting rhythms, better scorecards. Scorecards, we talked in an earlier episode of 10-Minute Masterclass about giving people the scorecard and giving them something to own, because if you give them something to own, they'll play like there's something to lose. And that's a huge lift. And then also just making sure you have a system somewhere that is the hub for communication, like a project management tool, like an Asana or a Basecamp or a Monday.com or ClickUp is another one a lot of people will use. You can't be the one that's getting all the information. It's got to be going into a third-party place, okay? The third bottleneck is the task bottleneck. This is where you find yourself saying, well, they just won't do it like I will, so I just keep doing it. This is like the age-old founder as a martyr kind of a complex where you almost, it's like a job security thing, even though you own the company. It's kind of weird, to be honest with you. I definitely struggle with the first two, just like, calling myself out here. I gave this one up a long time ago. I got so many people on the team now that are so much better at doing their jobs than I ever was, number one, to start with, and definitely than I am right now. So this was the easiest one for me to kill. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some areas of the business that I wish I could still give up, but we're just not there yet. It's fine. We're a growing business too. But it's like, hey, if you still got to run the ads, or you still got to write the copy, or you still got to call the customers, or you still got to do the sales presentations, or you got to go out and do the inspections, or whatever it is, if that's where you're at, you understand that you are going to become the biggest problem in the business. If that's where getting stuck is inevitable if that's the case. The way that I mentally broke this is, and this might sound aggressive, in some ways, I learned this from Dan Martell's book, Buy Back Your Time. Basically, I created a buyback rate, and I started telling myself, if it's not worth $1,000 an hour to do, I'm not doing it. There will be someone else on our team that will do it. Like, especially if it's worth $20 an hour to do, or $30 an hour. And this isn't to like cast shade on my team. It's to create a prioritization of tasks that the owner should be doing, the CEO should be doing, compared to the team that you're building out. Okay. So, and the last thing that you want to do is like things that are like $1,000 an hour. And that's not a literal number, guys. It's more about just a mental model of thinking about the high dollar stuff that the founder should be doing. Like, you can never outsource vision for the business. Like, you can't really outsource all the strategy for the business. That's really what you're there to do in the first place. So, but you can get rid of a lot of the tasks. The fourth bottleneck would be the priority bottleneck. That's where you'll say things like, I'm the only one who knows what's important. Well, if your team can't prioritize without you, it's just because you simply never taught them how. Like, that's an issue with you. That's not an issue with them. So this one's pretty simple to fix. Just start pushing more decision-making to your team. Create situations where they can have non-fatal failure. Use things like OKRs or rocks to show them the way and give them priorities, and then let them run and see what happens. That's the sign of a really great maturing leadership too, whenever you can let them be the ones that own the priorities instead of you. So this week, if you're a business owner, do a founder audit. Are you the bottleneck? And if so, which one could you be? Am I involved in all the approvals that don't necessarily require my expertise? Does my team wait for me to set direction every week? Am I the middleman in too many conversations? Do I leave every day thinking, if I don't do it, it's not going to get done? If the answer is yes, definitely if it's a yes more than once, then you got a founder bottleneck issue, okay? So this week, the way you would fix it, you would make sure you install a decision-making framework, create rules for what the team owns, like the RACI chart. Make sure you have an operational scorecard. Episode 16 in the podcast, I go through what should be in a scorecard and how to get your team members to feel like they're winning. Because if they see the score, They'll stop guessing. They'll stop playing to win. That's great. And make sure you've got a solid meeting rhythm that could also run without you if you're out. So some sort of tactical weekly check-in, some sort of monthly strategic meeting, and some sort of quarterly vision kind of OKR goal planning reset. If you do those three things well, you're going to make yourself less and less and less of a bottleneck. And I really want that for you. So being the bottleneck, it doesn't necessarily mean you're broken as a business, but it does mean you're probably stalled out or you've outgrown the way you were operating. So it's really easy when the operating system is broken. Just install a new one. Delegate decisions, build your scorecards, set the priorities that live beyond the calendar. And because you started the business to own your time, make sure that's what's happening. Don't be owned by the business. Make sure you own it. Before we wrap up today, I want to remind you about our season sponsor, Live Well membership. If you like to travel, there's no better way to do it than traveling with Live Well. It's luxury travel without the timeshare traps. Go book your next vacation. And until next time, we'll see you on the flip side.